Hello, guys. We are live again, and I'm so excited. I always like to come live. I think this is one of the things that give me more energy is to talk to all my audience out there that are listening to my videos. So today we're gonna give you another help with paradigms, right? What are paradigms? So we defined yesterday that paradigms are a multitude of habits that are stored in your subconscious mind. And what's known as a habit is a fixed idea that is in your mind. So for example, I got a client. He was from Puerto Rico. We were talking, and he said to me, "I said, well, how you doing?" And he said, "Well, I live in a community that is a lot of Americans and old people, and some people are racist." And I stopped it right down and I said, "You know what? It's all in your mind." And so we did an exercise. Said, I want you to write down that people love you and people care for you, and please don't go there because it's all in your mind. And he repeated. We did a script, and he repeated for about a week. And a week later, he came back and said, "You know what? I don't know what just happened, but everybody treat me so well now." I said, "Well, of course, your attitude just changed." You see, paradigms, because they're fixed ideas in our mind, and we put so much emotion into them, really define our attitudes towards other people. And people reflect back the attitude that you have towards them. So, for example, many people we know, especially in high-end management, that which tend to be very kind, right? So, Ern, I think I was saying that as you go upper the ladder of the corporate, people seem to talk more soft, seems to be more kind, seems to be more, and people think like, oh wow, because you have money. It's actually not for that. It's because they're kind and because they're more understanding. That attitude reflect to other people, and they're considered to be higher positions. I will say no one is more intelligent than the others, but you can manage your attitude toward other people. We're going to talk about attitude, not right now, but we talk about paradigms. And paradigms are very strong. They control pretty much about, I would say, 96 to 98% of our results are controlled by paradigm. You need to understand that paradigm is like a program, right? It's like a thermostat in your house. So if you walk into your house, and it's too cold, what are you gonna do? You're gonna start putting clothes on top? No, you go to a thermostat, you put it higher. Or if it's too hot, you're gonna start taking off your clothes? No, you go to a thermostat, you put it a little bit colder, right? So the paradigm is designed to give you the results that you want. For example, and I think I was playing yesterday, why you keep doing things that you know you shouldn't do, but you keep on doing them, and they keep giving you the same results. You see, we know what is wrong, and we know that it's not going to be a beneficial for us, but we keep on doing them, and we don't know why. At the same time, we know what we need to do. Everyone is doing it, but we seems to not have the time. It seems like time flies for us, and other people are able to do it, but we're not able to do it. But you see, paradigms control everything in pretty much in your life, because you control the money you're gonna make, you control the time. You see, some people are very good at focusing on one activity, finish it, and be done in 20 minutes. But if you procrastinate and you look at your phone and you get distracted and look at the phone, you don't build that momentum of productivity. You see, momentum, same like the cars and everything, works with building speed, right? Velocity. Physics would say no speed, velocity. And so the velocity, it means that when you move an object which has been standing, you make the first force take more effort than the second force, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. And you can see in your car, when you put your car in fifth gear, you have a manual car, you put it in fifth gear, you have an automatic car, put the gear all the way into six. I don't know if we'll do that, but I think so they don't do it. But you're in a manual car, you put it all the way into sixth or fifth gear, and you try to accelerate, and the car won't move because it doesn't have the force. Now you can go at 100 miles an hour in fifth gear, but you cannot go 5 miles in fifth gear without the car stalling, right? If you start from the beginning, it doesn't. So we work the same way. When you get started in something, it will require energy and more effort to you just to get started. But as you move along the way, as you move along, that it become easier. It's like reading. You start reading, and the first page seems to be a little bit slow, but when you're just moving and your body get that momentum, you start going through the reading so easily. With your paradigm, if your paradigm is ruling you and controlling you as a programming, so you get distracted in the middle of the reading or the middle of what you're doing, this is what you're doing. You're starting all over again. So see, there's a difference for someone who does the work in 20 minutes because start and finish. But if it might take you 1 hour to do the same job, if you do start, stop, start, build a momentum, stop, start, build a momentum, stop. It's like you try to go in your car and put first gear, and when you go to second, you stop the car. And you go to first gear, you go to second, stop the car. You're not gonna go anywhere, right? So this is what your paradigm is doing, is controlling your life. So you will see people that go in an industry, and we talked about yesterday, in very short period of time, they're making millions. And what you've been doing in the industry for so long, you're not. Why? It's not that they're more intelligent than you. It's not that they know more people than you, but they work with a different paradigm. And that's what paradigm is doing. So, for example, I wanted to talk about this, but I want to read it because I think so is going to interact with a lot of people. This is for our lesson number 2 in our program that talks about paradigm. It talks about how to identify those paradigms within you and how to change those paradigms. So I'm going to read this for you, but it's very interesting. It said, you could walk into any corporation anywhere in the world, and individuals in that corporation are involved in activities on a daily basis that producing results they do not particularly want. You'll find people who are grossly overweight and that want to lose weight and yet continually eat food that just pack on more pounds. You'll find people smoking who will absolutely love to stop, and yet every time you look, they're lighting up another cigarette. You'll find salespeople complaining that they are having difficulty selling, and yet ignoring the known sales procedures that all the top professionals follow. You'll find managers chastising someone in front of their peers, even though they know it is non-productive and, and only aggravate the problem they are trying to solve. Yes, these people all know how to do better, and yet they are not doing it, and they do not know why. The why is the paradigm. So I recommend you watch these videos continually. If if you know what to do and you're not doing it, if your peers are making more than you and you're not doing it, if they're having it, you feel like that. Now we know why. It's a paradigm. It's a programming you have inside of you, and you can change it. This is very interesting. We talked yesterday. You will never outperform your self-image ever unless you change the paradigm. Change the paradigm, and you will change your results. Now, the other thing where we talk today, we were talking about persistence. So you can be persistent in trying to change your behavior, but the behavior is ruled by the paradigm. So the behavior will be this. People said, I work with a lot of financial advisors, mortgage brokers, real estate broker, people that normally are in a retail selling, right? Retail helping. Selling is the same like helping. Simple like that. If you think you are good, bad at selling, and you convince your friends that you're bad at selling, and they believe you, you probably just become the best salesman in the world. So the other thing is that sales is about helping other people to give them exactly what they want. Okay, that's what is helping is all about. And the orange juice and the coffee and all those things that you have in your breakfast, you don't have them from your state. It comes from other places. So people, salespeople, took it and put it on your table. So it's a good field to be, and we all do. We sell to our kids, we sell to our children, we sell our ideals, and we want them to adopt them. If they adopt them because they understand them, then they buy them, right? So that we do. So the persistent, we are top producers saying, well, you just have to call 30 people, and you normally call 6 or 10, and you're making 200,000. Say, well, you know what? I'm gonna call 40 people, and I'm gonna make $1 million. So if you see it in a progressive way, it's impossible. You're not gonna do it like that. Why? Because they could actually call less people than you and make still more money than you, because their belief system is different than yours. Now, can you have the same belief system? Absolutely, you can. You need to understand it is if we are computers, and your neighbor or your peer has a programming, and you're running in an old programming, and we take the programming out of him and we put it in your head, then you're running with the same program. So that has nothing to do with some people are lucky, or they're more better in some things than us. It's simply that we can change those habits. We can change that paradigm. Now, I was talking with a prospect. Well, I talk with people all day, but one of them is saying, "Well, you know what? My company is going to help me to sell more, to make more money." And so we have coaches and people that help us all the time, and really can help us to change that behavior, right? To start calling more people but guess what? You know why you're not calling people? Because you don't want to. This is it. And you don't want to because you feel like you don't want to be you like to be accepted, and they're not accepting you. And you just want to help them, but they don't want to listen. And because you think it's all of this is about personal, and because your idea is that they don't want to talk to you. So you're gonna go and call people people introduce you, you say, well, I get referrals. Yeah, but you don't become a millionaire by getting referrals. Is that your goal? If you go to be the high performance in your company, you can't rely on referrals. Because relying on referrals is relying on other people, charity towards your goal. And you have to create your own economy. You have to be able to prosper no matter where you are. Now, how do we tie that persistence with all this? The persistence is not to continue swimming against the current of the river or trying to push that wall. The persistence is to swim with the current of the river so you can cross to the other side. You see, the river coming down, you're never gonna cross if you're going against the current. But if you go in favor of the current, you can cross faster. You use the current to move you. That is a change of paradigm. And so, if the paradigm is dictating your results, and the paradigm is producing the behavior, why we continue to be persistent in changing the behavior? What you should do is be persistent on changing the paradigm. Because the paradigm, once you create a paradigm, when you create the paradigm that you want, when you create those habits, then it will be minimum effort on double your income or double the productivity. It doesn't have an income, it has to be anything, relationship with people, everything. Paradigms control everything. So the persistence has to be towards our habit. Someone said to me today, yeah, but that's hard to do. Oh yeah, it's hard to do. You know why it's hard to do? And we talk about this. It's because bad habits have instant gratification. Good habit has delayed gratification. Whoa, hold on, wait. What do you mean instant gratification, delayed gratification? Well, I'll explain you this. You are motivated to do things because you have a drug that your mind produces that's called dopamine. All right. If you don't know, go and Google it, dopamine. And if you take the dopamine from a person, that person 3 days will die. He loses completely motivation of living. Dopamine is what keeps us alive, right? But your mind, when there's something about habit, your mind fill you with dopamine and you actually addicted to the dopamine of the bad habit. It's not the bad habit. You once you do it, it's like a cup, right? You take the cup, you feel bad about it, but you don't feel bad before you take it. So before you take it, you feel excited, feel like something is gonna happen, right? You take it and you feel bad. That's a bad habit, or what we call it a sin. A sin is something that you are doing, and when you get it, you feel bad. But in between, you don't feel bad. You feel like you want to do it. You feel that motivation. So your mind is feeling you with this. And so it's of course it's easy to stay with bad habits. Well, there's a way of sticking with good habit, and that is what we teach in our program. That's why we're able to change your paradigm. You see, you won't be able to change your paradigm if your dopamine is going pushing you to go to the opposite direction. Your dopamine, you have to be able to create a dopamine, and we have the way to do it. So you stick with the right paradigm. And so you focus on the paradigm, you change the behavior from its root, the paradigm, and your results will start to change right away. All right, guys, I hope so that I pass a little bit. I always try to keep it less than 10 minutes, but I love this subject and I'm sure that it will benefit you as well. So I'm looking forward to giving you more tips tomorrow and we'll be in touch. Have a great day, guys, and have a good night. Bye bye.